I remember the exact moment everything changed. It was a Tuesday evening in March, and I'd come home early with Thai food from Elena's favorite restaurant. The jasmine rice was still warm in its container, the pad see EW fragrant with basil. I found her in our bedroom, staring at her phone with an expression I'd never seen before, something between guilt and determination. "We need to talk," she said, not meeting my eyes. Those 4 words. Every husband's nightmare. Elena set her phone face down on the nightstand, a gesture that would later haunt me, and told me she needed space. Not a separation, she insisted. Just time to think about us, about where we're going. Her words were vague, rehearsed almost, like she'd practiced this speech in her head 100 times. We'd been married for 6 years. 6 beautiful, ordinary years of Sunday morning pancakes, shared Netflix queues, and whispered conversations in the dark. We'd survived her mother's cancer scare, my layoff 2 years ago, and the devastating miscarriage that nearly broke us both. Or so I thought. Is there someone else? I asked, my voice barely steady. No, Ben. God, no. I need to figure out who I am outside of this marriage. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. That night, I slept in the guest room. The sheets smelled like detergent and loneliness. I could hear Elena moving around in our bedroom, her bedroom now, I supposed, and wondered if she was texting someone, if there were secrets living in that phone she clutched so protectively. The next few weeks passed in a blur of awkward small talk and careful distance. Elena started working late more often. She'd come home after 9, claiming her law firm was swamped with a new case. I'd make dinner. She'd eat quickly, and then disappear into the home office she claimed as her sanctuary. I threw myself into my work at the architectural firm, staying late to redesign office buildings I didn't care about. My best friend, Tom, noticed a change. Over beers one Friday night, he asked if Elena and I were okay. She needs space. I said, the words tasting bitter. Tom raised an eyebrow. Space? Man, that's never just space. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to prove him wrong. But deep down, in that place where instinct lives, I knew something was terribly wrong. The woman I loved. The woman who used to leave silly post-it notes in my lunch, who danced with me in the kitchen to no music, had become a stranger who flinched when I touched her shoulder 18 night. I'd lie awake listening to her phone buzz. Once, twice, 3 times. Always after midnight. Always while she thought I was asleep. It happened on a Thursday night in April. Elena had told me she was working late again, the 3rd time that week. I'd made pasta carbonara, her favorite. Hoping maybe we could talk, really talk, but she texted at 6 saying not to wait up that I ate alone, the silence of our house pressing on me like a weight. The carbonara tasted like ASHBY 10 o'clock. I'd had 3 glasses of wine and was pacing our living room like a caged animal. Her laptop sat on the coffee table, closed but somehow accusatory. I'd never been the jealous type, never felt the need to check up on her. Trust had been our foundation. But trust was crumbling. AT 10:47 p.m. I did something I never thought I'd do. I logged into our phone account online. My hand shook as I typed in the password, our wedding date, ironically. The call logs loaded slowly, each second an eternity. Then I saw at point 1 number appeared again and again and again. Calls at 11 p.m., 1 a.m., during her lunch breaks, on her way home from work. Some lasted 5 minutes. Others stretched past an hour. The pattern went back 6 weeks. Right around the time she'd asked for space, that MY stomach dropped. The room spun that I grabbed my phone and scrolled through our texts. There was last Tuesday when she said she was in a meeting until 9 p.m. The call log showed a 47-minute conversation with that number at 8:15 p.m. Last Saturday when she went to yoga class, there was a call lasting an hour and 12 minutes that I felt sick. Actually sick. I ran to the bathroom and dry heaved over the toilet. When Elena came home at 11:30, I was sitting in the dark living room, my phone in one hand, a glass of whiskey in the other. "Hey, baby," she said, her voice falsely bright. "Why are you still up?" I didn't answer, just stared at her in the dim light from a hallway. "Ben? What's wrong? Who is he?" My voice came out raw, broken. Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" I held up my phone, showing her the call logs I'd screenshotted. Don't lie to me anymore. Elena, please, just don't. She stood frozen in the doorway, her briefcase slipping from her shoulder to the floor. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. I could hear the kitchen faucet dripping, a sound I'd been meaning to fix for weeks. I can explain, she started. Explain what? Explain the hundreds of calls? Explain why you've been lying to me for weeks. Tears filled her eyes, but I felt nothing. My heart had turned to stone. It's not what you think, she whispered. Then what is it? Because from where I'm sitting, my wife has been having an affair. She flinched at the word. Good. Let it hurt. Ben, please, stop. I stood up, my legs unsteady. I don't want to hear excuses. I want the truth. Who is he? Elena's face crumpled, and for a moment, I saw the woman I'd married. Vulnerable, scared, human. But then I remembered those call logs, those lies, and my sympathy evaporated. His name is David. She said finally, her voice barely audible. He's a partner at the firm. David. The name landed like a physical blow. I'd met David once at the firm's holiday party. Tall, confident, silver at his temples. He complimented my wife's work, called her brilliant. I'd felt proud that night. Proud that the successful man recognized Elena's talent. Now I wanted to destroy him. How long? I asked. Ben, how long? She sank onto the couch, her hands covering her face. 2 months. It started at a conference in Chicago. Chicago. I'd helped her pack for that trip. I'd kissed her goodbye at the airport. Told her to knock them dead with her presentation. She called me that first night. Said she missed me. Said she loved me that she'd been in his bed. Did you sleep with him? The question came out clinical, detached. I felt like I was watching this happen to someone else that Elena's silence was answer enough. On that first trip? Yes. And since then? She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. God, Ben, I'm so sorry. Where? I needed to know. Needed to catalog every betrayal. Where did you? Hotels. His apartment. Once here. Our house. Our bed. The bed where we'd made love. Where we'd held each other through nightmares. Where we grieved our lost baby. I thought I might vomit again. When I was at Tom's house helping with his renovation, I asked, remembering a Saturday 3 weeks ago when I'd been gone all day. She nodded miserably. The image hit me like a freight train, my wife in our bed with another man, his hands where mine should be, her moans, her pleasure, her passion given to someone else. I imagined them tangled in our sheets, the afternoon light streaming through the windows, maybe even using the condoms I'd noticed were missing from my nightstand drawer. I had to know more, hated myself for needing to know, but couldn't stop. Did you? I swallowed hard. Did you enjoy it? With him? Ben, please, answer me. Yes. Her voice broke. I'm sorry, but yes. The room tilted. I gripped the arm of the chair to steady myself. Is it better? Is he better than me? It's different. Ben, you have to understand. I don't have to understand anything. My voice exploded, months of suspicion and pain erupting. You betrayed me. You looked me in the eyes every single day and lied. Elena stood, reaching for me, but I stepped back. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me. I love you, she sobbed. I still love you. You love me. I laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. You fuck another man in our bed and tell me you love me? It meant nothing. Then why? Why throw away everything we had for nothing? She wiped her eyes, mascara smearing across her cheeks. Because he made me feel alive again. Because he listened. Because what? Because you stopped seeing me. Her words hung in the air between us like poison. I stopped seeing you? Yes. Elena's voice grew stronger, defensive. When was the last time you really looked at me, Ben? When was the last time we had a real conversation that wasn't about bills or schedules? When was the last time you touched me like you wanted me, not just like it was another item on your to-do list? So this is my fault. Rage boiled in my chest. I worked 60-hour weeks to pay for this house, this life. I never asked for this house. I never asked you to kill yourself at that firm. You're a lawyer married to an architect. What did you expect? A studio apartment? I expected a husband who was present. She was shouting now, too. After miscarriage, you shut down. You threw yourself into work and left me alone to grieve. The accusation hit its mark. After we'd lost a baby, our daughter, we'd learned, though we decided not to know. I hadn't known how to help her, how to help us. So I'd done what I knew. I'd worked. I'd provided. I'd tried to build a future to replace the one we'd lost. Maybe I'd build a wall instead. I was hurting too, I said quietly. I know, but you wouldn't let me in. And when David showed up, when he asked me about my day and actually listened to the answer, when he looked at me like I was fascinating instead of an obligation, she trailed off. So you fucked him. Ben, did you think about me? When you were with him, did I cross your mind even once? Her silence told me everything that I sank back into the chair. My phone buzzed, a text from Tom asking if I wanted to grab lunch tomorrow. Normal life, continuing as if my world wasn't ending. I need to know something, I said. That number I saw, all those late-night calls. Were you talking to him while I was sleeping in the next room? She nodded. What did you talk about? Everything. Work, his divorce, my childhood, dreams, fears. Us. He asked if I was going to leave you. My heart stopped. And what did you say? I said I didn't know. The honesty was worse than another lie would have been. At least a lie would have meant she cared enough to protect me. Do you love him? I asked. Elena looked away. I think so. I don't know. It's complicated. It's actually very simple. You either love him or you don't. I love parts of him. The attention, the excitement, the way he makes me feel young and desirable. And me? Do you love any parts of me anymore? She met my eyes then, and I saw something break in her expression. I love the memory of us. I love who we used to be. But the man sitting in front of me right now, I don't even know him anymore. The truth was, I didn't know her either. This woman who could betray our vows, who could invite another man into our home, into our bed. She was a stranger. I want you out, I said. Tonight. Ben, no. I can't be in the same house with you. I can't breathe. She stood there for a moment, and I thought she might argue, but something in my face must have convinced her. She walked upstairs, and I heard her moving around, packing. I sat in that chair for what felt like hours. The house creaked around me. Familiar sounds suddenly alien. Everything I thought I knew had been a lie. Every kiss goodnight, every I love you, every shared smile, all of it contaminated by her deception. Elena came downstairs with a suitcase and her laptop bag. She looked small, diminished somehow, standing in the hallway of the home we bought together 3 years ago. We'd painted these walls. We'd hung those pictures. We'd built a life here. Now it was ash. I'll be at my sister's, she said. We should probably get lawyers. Yeah. She hesitated, and I could see her wanting to say something more. But what was there to say? Sorry seemed inadequate. Goodbye seemed too final. So we stood in silence. Two people who'd once known every inch of each other, now separated by an ocean of pain. After she left, I did what any rational man would do. I called Tom. It's midnight, he answered groggily. She's been having an affair. He was instantly alert. I'm coming over. While I waited, I poured another drink and stared at my phone. That number from the call logs stared back at me. David. I could call him, confront him, but what would be the point? He wasn't the one who'd promised to love me forever. Tom arrived 20 minutes later with a bottle of bourbon and the kind of grim determination that told me he'd suspected this all along. Tell me everything, he said. I did. The call logs, the confession, the revelation about our bed. Tom listened without interrupting, his jaw getting tighter with every detail. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. There's something you need to know, he said finally. What? That number you found? I recognized it when you showed me the screenshot. My blood ran cold. What do you mean you recognized it? Tom looked at me with an expression that combined pity and rage. David isn't some partner at her firm, Ben. David is David Richardson. The name meant nothing to me for a second. Then it clicked. David Richardson, our financial advisor, the man we'd trusted with our retirement accounts, our savings, our future, the man who'd sat at our kitchen table 6 months ago, helping us plan for the family we'd hoped to have someday, the man who'd shaken my hand and called me buddy. No, I whispered. No, that can't be right. Tom pulled out his phone and showed me a LinkedIn profile. There he was, David Richardson, CFP, the same silver temples, the same confident smile. In one photo, he stood at a charity gala, next to my wife. The picture was from 3 months ago. Elena wore a red dress I'd never seen. She was laughing, her hand on his arm, looking up at him with an expression I recognized because it used to be directed at me. They'd been posting together at firm events. Tom said gently, I found this last week, but I hoped I was wrong. The room spun. It wasn't just an affair with a stranger. It was a betrayal by someone in our inner circle. Someone I'd trusted. Someone who looked me in the eye and helped me plan for a future he was actively destroying. How many times had he sat across from me, knowing he was sleeping with my wife? How many times had Elena looked at me over dinner, knowing she'd been in his arms hours before? The magnitude of the deception took my breath away. There's more, Tom said. How can there possibly be more? Your joint savings account. The one you're supposed to have $47,000 in? I did some digging. It's been emptied except for $3,000. The bourbon I drunk threatened to come back up. What? Elena moved the money 3 weeks ago. Split between 2 accounts, one in her name, one in his. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning a future. Together, with my money. I thought about the extra hours I'd worked, the promotions I'd sacrificed time with Elena to achieve, all so we could build security. And she'd stolen it to fund a new life with the man who'd helped her plan the theft. I'm going to destroy them, I said quietly. Tom nodded. I'll help. The next morning, I woke up on the couch with a splitting headache and a message from Elena. We need to talk about next steps. David thinks we should use a mediator instead of lawyers. It would be cheaper. David thinks, as if his opinion mattered now. I texted back. Your boyfriend is welcome to his opinions. My lawyer will be in touch. Also, you might want to tell David that embezzlement is a crime. The money you stole, it's already been flagged. It was a lie. I hadn't called the police yet, but I would. Her response came quickly. Stole? That's our money. Was our money. Past tense. You forfeited your claim when you started fucking our financial advisor. I blocked her number. Then I called the best divorce attorney in the city. Then I called the police to report the theft. Then I called David Richardson's employer to report an ethics violation. By noon, I'd set in motion the complete destruction of both their careers. By evening, Elena was calling from her sister's phone, crying, begging me to call off the complaints. I let it go to voicemail. Tom came over with pizza and more bourbon. We sat in my living room now, not ours, and he told me about his own divorce 5 years ago. It gets better, he said. I know you don't believe me, but it does. I looked around at the home that no longer felt like home, at the life that had been revealed as fiction, and I wondered if he was right. 6 years of marriage. 6 years of trust and love and shared dreams. Gone in a revelation that took less than an hour. But as I sat there with my best friend, planning my future without Elena, I realized something. I was going to survive this. The betrayal hurt. God, it hurt like nothing I'd ever known. But I would survive it. And someday, maybe I'd even be grateful. Grateful that the lies ended when they did. Grateful that I could start over while I was still young enough to build something real. Elena had wanted distance. Now she had it. Forever. 3 months later, I signed the divorce papers. Elena lost her job after the firm investigated her relationship with David. He lost his financial advisory license. They're still together, last I heard, living in his apartment and working retail jobs while they fight the embezzlement charges. I sold the house. Couldn't stand to be there anymore. Got a new place downtown, closer to work. Started therapy. Started dating, though nothing serious yet. The pain has faded to a dull ache. Some days I barely think about her. Other days, Something will trigger a memory, a song, a smell, a couple laughing together, and the grief hits fresh. But I'm building a new life, one built on truth instead of lies, one where I know exactly where I stand. Elena taught me that trust, once broken, can never be fully repaired. But she also taught me that I'm stronger than I thought, that I can survive betrayal and come out the other side. And someday, when I'm ready, I'll find someone who deserves the love I have to give. Someone who won't need distance. Someone who won't destroy what we've built. Someone who chooses me every day the way I once chose Elena. Until then, I'm choosing myself. The end.